Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to my respectful lecturer, Sir Sazali, and my beloved classmate. I am Diana Sofia binti C. Alarita from Group 5. Today, my friend and I will be presenting about case study number 4, about the topic of ethic, fraud and internal control. So, I will start with question A. Before that, I would like to summarize the case first because it related with the question. The case is about Shadow Crew operated as a highly sophisticated and hierarchical organization which provided online marketplaces and discussion forum for identity theft. Shadow Crew members used the organization website to traffic in stolen social security numbers, names, email, address, counterfeit driver's license, birth certificates, and foreign endorsematic passport. It also shared best practice for carrying out fraudulent activity. Shadow Crew users were divided into 5 different roles: administrator, moderator, reviewers, vendors, and members, which each of them has own task to complete fraudulent activity. Now, go back to the question A, which how did Shadow Crew members conceal their identities? And how can every citizen protect their identities while interacting online? Shadow Crew members can conceal their identities or to hide their fraudulent activities owing to, while working in online, the Shadow Crew member use alias name rather than original name and does not reveal their personal information on websites. So, they can create multiple personas to cover their different niche topics without having them interfere with each other. Furthermore, the communication is made through proxy servers that can hide the location and identity of their members because the website they visit will not be able to determine that their IP address has visited the site. To some is considered as anonymous web exclusion. Moreover, under alias name, the members rented commercial mailbox for chat conversation, which the scam begin with a deceptive email to the end user claiming suspicious activity has been observed in their email account or that their inbox is full and needs attention. The email also contains a link that is truly malicious and an effort to gain the user's credentials. For specific instance, the member illegally obtaining confidential information, such as a social security number, about another person so that it can be used for financial gain. It also called as computer fraud and abuse technique of phishing, which emails that look like they came from a legitimate source, but are actually from a hacker who is trying to get the user to divulge the personal information. However, average citizens can protect their identities while interacting online by virtue of they know personal information can provide instant access to financial account, credit record, and other assets. So, they are very cautious on revealing the personal information and the financial information through a company's website. Other than that, the user avoid the use of original names, birthday dates, and other identification information when use chat room. Because of that, it made the scammer difficult to collect personal information while using chat room and never use the trick to the person. Additionally, the most common way is they protect their online identity on creating strong password, never share their password with anyone, and change password a few times each year. Last but not least, they exhibit the personal information in online only necessary places, such as when they must fill out a profile or online form to use a product or service. They only fill out the fields that are absolutely necessary and offer a few details about their self as possible. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Thank you, Diana. I'm Muhammad Dinab Khori, will be presenting Question B, which is how has the internet made detecting and identifying identity fraudsters difficult. First, the internet made detecting and identifying identity fraudsters harder when the shadow crew in the organization use aliases names to mask their genuine identity when executing a fraud. They can impersonate someone else and make it difficult for authorities to determine the fraudsters' true identities by using an alias names. This usually happens when a fraudster uses an alias name when engaging in fraudulent financial activities like online transactions using another person's credit card. This kind of act is definitely illegal. Second, when fraudsters utilize fraudulent email accounts for a chat conversations, it becomes more and more difficult to identify them. A fraudulent email is one in which victims are contacted by persons or services that appear to be real with the objective of tricking the victim into giving personal information or clicking on anything that allow the attackers to accomplish something that the victim is completely unaware of. Lastly, another factor that makes it difficult to identify theft on the internet is when shadow crews members use proxy servers in their communication on network. Proxy servers operate as a go-between for the users and the internet. By concealing their IP address, proxy servers allow members of the shadow crew to hide, conceal, and make their network ID untraceable. Because of these factors, it is difficult to detect and penalize fraudsters' deviant behavior. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nabil Shami bin Azmi, and today I will talk about what are some of the most common electronic means of stealing personal information. The first one is phishing. Thieves send emails and pop-ups that appear to come from a known or trusted company such as a bank, online retailer, and credit card companies. They will ask the victim to click a link and provide information related to the account. They may threaten the victim with severe consequences if they fail to provide the information. The link will direct him to a site that looks just like the official bank or credit card site, but it is actually a fictional site created to convince the victim to reveal their personal information. The second one is smishing. Smishing thief may also send SMS message to the victim, a practice that is known as smishing. This thief may imitate trustworthy organization or even friends and family to deceive victim into giving personal information such as password or credit card detail, similar to phishing. As more people trust text message over phone calls nowadays, smishing may become more common. And the third one is phishing. Thief can also target potential victim using phone calls, often known as phishing. Promises such as the offer of a price or threats such as the fear of not receiving a tax return are commonly used by phone thieves to persuade victims to provide personal information. For example, this thief will call the victim saying that they are from their bank or another institution and inform them that there is a problem with their account credit card. The next one is spoofing. Spoofing is a sort of scam in which a thief alters a target's email address, display name, phone number, text message, or even website URL to make them believe they are communicating with a recognized, trustworthy source. Spoofing typically involves modifying just one letter, number, or symbol in the communication to make it appear valid at first glance. The second one is spyware. Spyware is a type of malicious software that is also known as malware that is installed on a computer without the consent of the user. It penetrates the device, obtains sensitive information and internet usage data, and then distributes it to advertising, data businesses, or other third parties. And lastly is skimming. Skimming is when a thief steals information from a debit or credit card as it is being swiped. This criminal crime is frequently carried out by people who appear to be innocent, such as servers, retail clerks, and hotel employees. thief may interfere with the electronic card reader to capture card data by installing a recording device at an ATM, or they may hire a fraudulent salesman to take card data from client. The thief then will sell your personal information to a criminal organization, and they also manufacture and sell fake credit cards. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Adila Ananti binti Mat Shah, and now I will present the answer for question D. Question D asks, what is the most common way that fraudsters use personal data? Okay, before that, you should know the use of personal data without authorization is called identity fraud. Identity fraud occurs when somebody is illegally using your data. The goal of the thief use your personal information to assume your identity to access your bank account and drain funds, open and use credit card in your name, take out loans, use your health insurance to pay medical bills, and file a tax return to collect your refund. Okay. The fraudster may use traffic credit card, and that's the most common way for a fraudster. As a given case in question of fraudster indicates that Shadow Crew had trafficked in at least 1.7 million credit cards, and it was responsible for more than $4.3 million in fraud losses. Aside from that, the fraudster used personal data to target phishing attacks and extortion. Criminals might use stolen personal information to launch phishing attacks on their victims. Okay, next, fraudsters also use personal data to open a new credit card or loan illegally, and this causes a person to fall victim to fraud and face debt. And the fraudster will also freeze the existing owner's account. Last but not least, the fraudster might sell the data to other criminals. Hackers can profit from stolen data on the dark web by selling it in bulk to other criminals. Criminals can find millions of records on the stolen data in this collection. The data can subsequently be used for criminal purpose by the buyers. As the given case in question of fraudster indicates that the selling of stolen data was handled through vendors. Utilizing an auction platform similar to eBay, prices were listed and things were sold. Okay, payments were made using a fraud victim's stolen data and processed through Western Union money transfer or an electronic currency. Okay, now we're moving to the next question, which is question E. This question asks what measure can consumers take to protect against the online brokering of their personal data. Okay, before that, people need to keep in mind that fraudsters are continually seeking new ways to get around us and steal our credit and debit card information, as well as our money. However, we can further safeguard ourselves and our money by completing a few simple things. Okay. Consumers can protect themselves from online brokering of their personal data by being extremely cautious when conducting online transactions. To begin, consumers should refrain from disclosing confidential information, whether buying at a retail cashier, joining an online club, or receiving a phishing email. Next, consumers should never disclose their credit card number, phone number, CVV, PIN or OTP to any unfamiliar link or website. They should also avoid conducting online transactions on any website or network that does not appear to be safe. Aside from that, consumers should avoid clicking on unexpected links in email and should not alter their personal information there. Filling out online survey and polls that ask for personal data should be avoided at all costs. Even when we want to enter personal information on website, we need to make sure that the site are safe and secure. Then we can submit our personal information if it is secure. To be safer, raise a question on the website about the necessity to disclose personal information such as name, phone number, and address when purchasing things online if the website requires it. Consumers can only protect themselves from fraud if they take such precaution and safeguard. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nushaira binti Muhammad Azwan. So now I would like to continue to the next question, which is about what are the most effective means of detecting identity theft. Okay, first of all, what is identity theft? Identity theft is assuming someone's identity, usually for economic gain, by illegally obtaining and using confidential information such as our name and address, social security number, or a bank account or credit card number. And they could use them to buy things with our credit cards, steal the tax refund, get a new credit card by using our name, and also pretend to be us if they are arrested. There are a few factors that can be most effective of detecting identity theft is by examining our credit reports on a regular basis. Monitoring our credit report is probably the best way to get an overview of all credit that has been applied for and is still active in our name. Even if we do not receive suspicious mail or notice fraudulent charges on our existing accounts, our credit report will reveal other indicators of possible identity theft. Inquiries are from companies we didn't contact, accounts we didn't open, debts we can explain, and inaccurate personal information are all red flags. We can combat fraud if we don't know it's happening. Understanding how to check for identity theft can assist we in detecting wrongdoing before it worsens. Monitoring our credit report is a simple way to detect signs of identity theft and respond as soon as possible. Next, keep an eye on our financial statement also can be one of detection of identity theft. Examine the financial statements, particularly credit card bills, should be truthfully scrutinized for irregularities. Make sure we recognize every transaction, know the due dates, and call to investigate if we do not receive an expected bill. Furthermore, we should review our bills. The charges for things you didn't buy could be a sign of identity theft that have been stolen. They can make another bill by using our information, so we could get a new bill that we did not expect. The thieves might do something wrong by adding more bills required, and if there is a due date among it, the name used will be subject to action. Besides, identity thieves may steal mail and patch together our personal information to commit identity theft. They could get important details like bank account numbers, health insurance cards, or credit card details by stealing mail. They might be able to create a new identity if they access key information like our social security number. The way that we can prevent it by shred mail before discarding it. Also, shred pre-approved credit card offers tax-related documents you don't need, documents that contain credit card numbers or other personal details, or maybe any communication from financial companies. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haziq bin Muhammad Ayub. I will talk about the question, what pieces of personal information are most valuable to identify fraudsters? For the first one is name. Because this information is widely available on the internet, you might not consider it to be important to a fraudster. A fraudster, on the other hand, can benefit much by knowing entire first, middle, and last name. If they want to register a new account in your name, this information is extremely useful. For the second one is date and place of birth. It asks for on most official forms, from governmental paperwork to financial accounts. It might appear on background check websites. Your place of birth is also used as secondary confirmation measure by several online providers. This could be used to reset your password or grant the identity fraudsters access to your account. Unfortunately, people tend to advertise their dates of birth all over the internet. Social media make it easy to let everyone know when a special day is coming up, so people are keen to share it with the world. For the third one is social security number or IC number. Social security number can be used to verify your identification in variety of situations. It may be used to open a new bank account, log into internet account, and file a false tax return. In summary, an identity fraudster's jackpot is your social security number or IC. It's also easy for them to get the additional information they all need to steal your identity once they have this number. The next one is driver license number and passport. Your driver's license number and passport number can both be used by identity fraudster to learn more about you. After all, your entire name, date of birth, nationality, and address are all on them. If a fraudster obtains your driver's license or passport, the photograph on it might be changed to seem like someone else. They can then use it to get access to numerous aspects of your life. A passport is particularly problematic since it can lead to international identity theft. The fraudsters can open accounts in other countries in your name, and any accounts you already have in other countries could be accessed. It's even feasible that a fraudster may use your passport to travel overseas under your identity if it's been changed. For the next one is financial account numbers. Identity fraudsters are particularly interested in financial account. This contains account numbers for checking and saving accounts, credit and debit card numbers, and retirement accounts numbers. A fraudster with an account number, identifying information, and password or PIN may obtain access to any of these accounts and begin siphoning money. For the sixth one is expired date of credit card and debit card. When you use your credit or debit card to make an online transaction, you will normally be asked to provide the expiration date and security code. If an identity fraudsters know your card number and these details, they can use your card on the internet without restriction. Advanced fraudsters can obtain this information from an infected computer by phishing remains a common fraud tactic. Next is personal identification number or PIN number. Although your personal identification number should be randomized, many users safeguard their credit and debit cards with combinations like 1234, 5280, and 1111. Fraudsters are aware of this, so if your PIN is weak, it will be easy for them to get into your card if it's taken. Personal information such as birth dates is frequently used for PINs. Unfortunately, as previously said, this information is frequently shared on social media and is freely accessible. Hacker will attempt this number first, so don't use a number that may be found online. For the last one is phone number. Although your phone number is infrequently used for identity verification, a skilled fisher may make good use of it. They might phone or call and pretend to be from financial government entity in order to obtain additional personal information from you. Most individuals are wary to give up their phone numbers, but one slip up might mean you are about to be contacted by fraudsters. It's a good idea to be cautious about handing over your phone numbers, but being wary of strangers who call is also a smart idea. That's all from me. Thank you.